And welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Puborama, and in today's video, I'll be breaking into the top 5 best rally cars in Grand Theft Auto Online. Now, obviously, this is an opinionated video, but these are just going to be my favorite cars I love to drive off-road with, do a bit of drifting, and that can kind of just do all of the above. Now, I'm not going to be ranking them 1 to 5. I'm just going to be listing 5 vehicles that I think are the best rally cars in the game. The first vehicle we have is probably one of my favorite all-time cars in Grand Theft Auto Online, the Pfister Comet Safari. It is a vehicle that not only looks amazing, because, I mean, it's a Porsche, but as well, it just handles so dang well. You can see I've kept the suspension as high as it possibly can be, which allows it to just grip to the road like an absolute friggin' beast. When you add that into the fact that this car also has a bull bar on the front that can basically push anything out of the way, it's got a light rack that actually works, which is rare. A lot of times Rockstar adds light racks into Grand Theft Auto Online. They don't actually turn on, but for this car they do, which is just an extra benefit. Plus, this thing is sick at taking jumps. Are we gonna land it? Oh yeah, look at that. Beautiful landing. I just love the Comet Safari. It's such a cool vehicle, and the fact that it's actually quite cheap also makes it a really good deal in my personal opinion. This is just one of those cars that is fun to drive, it's great on handling, plus it has a pretty decent top speed, over 100 and I think like 24 miles per hour. It's not slow at all for a sports car, and it's one of really the only rally cars in the game that actually features a really good top speed and handling coefficient outside of the normal rally driving. Now this car, as you can see, has special tires. The stock wheels on this car are actually insanely good on grip, and they allow it to drive super duper well off the road and as well on the road. So definitely, when it comes to this Comet Safari, this is an absolute beast of an off-road, rallies, whatever you really want to call it. It can do almost anything, and I would definitely suggest to pick up this car. Up next, we have the Vapid GB200, which, if I'm not mistaken, is based off the Ford RS200 in real life, a very similar looking, actually real rally car. The Vapid GB200 looks amazing, first of all, I have to say. This is one of my also favorite looking type of rally cars in the game. It just has the part, it looks great for the job, but as well as you can see, this thing sticks to the road like a beast. I mean, there's really no problem whatsoever. Suspension's a little low, so you can see it's a bit bumpy when driving, but it never really loses grip. You can just stick to the road, no problem whatsoever, go around the corners at full speed. It's just a great car to drive. Once again, it's not a very expensive vehicle either, and it's got some super cool customization, which makes it really awesome to drive around. You can see, even though we've been getting some big bumps, some big air around these corners, no problem whatsoever. We've still been able to stick to the road, no crashes whatsoever so far. And that's the part about the GB200 that I always find super exciting, is it's just like a crazy bouncy house when you drive this car. It's gonna bump, it's gonna bang all over the place, but for some reason, it always sticks to the road, and it always gets you from point A to point B with no problems whatsoever. I mean, you can see there, the car literally almost ate crap 3 times, but it stuck to the road, and we're still driving fine. It's just one of those cars that can do that, even there too. I don't know why, but it's just always so fun to drive. So this is the GB200. There's not a single scratch on the car whatsoever, even after, oh, well, now there's a bit of blood on the car, but there's not a single scratch on the car, even though we did mess up that much. Sir, do you really want to do this? Do you really want to do this? I don't think you wanted to do that. But yes, I love this car, and I would definitely suggest to pick this one up. Up next, we have the Obey Ominous. This is based off the Audi Quattro, a rally legend in real life. And I gotta say, the car lives up to the hype in Grand Theft Auto. It is just so good at sticking to the ground. It's all-wheel drive, first of all, which means that it is always going to have grip on all 4s. But I mean, you can see just how well this thing sticks to the ground. It is such a nice car to drive. I don't even have off-road tires on this configuration, and it still just is a beast. I love the Audi Quattro in real life, the history behind it, and this car very easily follows that history suit. And also, if you're part of the Criminal Enterprise Starter Pack, you can get this vehicle for absolutely free in Grand Theft Auto Online, which is just a flat dub. So yeah, I would definitely say the Obey Ominous is a fantastic vehicle. Everything about it is great. It's also got some really good acceleration and handling on the road as well, which just makes it that little bit more fun to drive. It's got a huge bunch of lights in the front, as you can see, that you can all turn on, which is something that I always love to see, especially for rally cars, because a lot of them did have huge fog lights as they're was so much fog when these cars would rally in real life. But as you can see, sticks to the road, no problem whatsoever, and unlike the GB200, it doesn't really bounce around. This car doesn't have a problem with that. It will stick to the ground, and if you're running off-road tires, this thing is on a whole nother level. But as you saw, we easily made it from point A to point B, no problems whatsoever. I absolutely love this car, and it's just one of my favorites as well. Up next, we have the Tropos Rally. This is honestly just an awesome looking car. I mean, all the other rally cars look really cool, but first of all, it's got the pop-up headlights, all the lights work, and as well, this is based off of a car that actually won the rallying championships for, I think it's Lancia Stratus, this is the car. I think that this is one of the coolest looking cars of its time period ever, and the fact that this car managed to win, if you've ever watched Grand Tour, the fact that this car managed to win, kind of by cheating, I'll be honest, but still, the fact that a rear-wheel drive car managed to beat vehicles like the Audi Quattro is actually insane. This is just such a cool looking vehicle. Alright, well let's see how it drives. Now I will say, handling wise, it's not as good as the other cars, but that does make sense because it is rear wheel drive. But what it lacks in handling, it does have insane grip. So it doesn't turn as well, but it almost never, ever has a problem with tire spin or anything like that. You can see it's just a bullet when it is driving. It bounces around a little bit, but nothing you gotta worry about. You can see here, I've had no problem whatsoever sticking to the road. It just never, ever spins out. It's one of the things I love about this car, and the fact that it also looks amazing just adds in to that little bit. Now, I will say, if you crash this car, the entire front will pop off, and same for the back, so you might want to be a little careful if you drive this car too fast, because it will fall apart very, very quickly. But still, you can see we have had no problems whatsoever spinning out. I mean, just rally cars are such a fun combination in Grand Theft Auto Online because not only are they fast on the road, usually going upwards of 120 miles per hour, as you can see the majority of them are in the sports class, but as well, rally cars just look amazing and they handle amazing off the road, which is just two big flat dubs for me. So I love this car. Honestly, all the cars I've showcased so far I've loved, and that's why you can see I have such cool customization for them. Up next, we have this, the Vapid Retinue. This is just an awesome looking vehicle. It's kind of like a sleeper car. You would never expect this thing to be good at rallying, but it's actually really good, as you'll notice here. Sticks to the road, no problems whatsoever, which is really impressive judging that this is in the Sports Classics class. I love the look of the Vapid Retinue. You can see it does have a little bit of a light bar, but it doesn't really turn on, so a bit unfortunate there. But I think the Vapid Retinue not only looks the part, but it's actually really impressive on handling. I never expect this car to handle as good as it does, as I said, because it is in the Sports Classics class, but let's go for the jump. I don't know how it's going to work out, but here we go. Come on, we can stick it. We can stick it. Oh yeah, look at that. We kind of crashed at the end, but I'll take it. That's a hard jump to make sometimes. You have to get the perfect speed there. But yeah, as you can see, the Retinue just sticks to the road very well. It's got a bit higher up suspension, as you can see, compared to the other rally cars we've talked about so far, so because of that, it has no problem on going around corners, anything like that. But the great thing is that it's also not too high off the ground that you're going to have to worry about flipping. It's not like the Comet Safari where you will have to worry when going around some corners. This vehicle, you can full speed around corners, no problem whatsoever. It's great at drifting, it's great at off-roading, and it's just, as I said, a sleeper car. You would never expect this thing to go toe-to-toe with a lot of the other rally cars in Grand Theft Auto Online, but that's one of the reasons why it does make the list. Now, I know that I said I was only going to do a top 5, but I also want to put in an honorable mention. And that honorable mention is this, the Anis Silvestre. It looks very similar, honestly, to a lot of these other cars here, and I would definitely say the Retinue, frontally, it looks pretty similar. The Silvestre, the reason why I'm still putting it in here, I don't think it's as good as these cars, at least from my personal preference, but it's a bit faster than a lot of these other cars, and because of that, it's actually quite good. It's also a Sports Classics, and it's one of the faster Sports Classics in the game. It also sounds great, and I just think it looks really, really good. It's also got really awesome off-road handling, as you can see here. Sticks to the road and the off-road like no problem whatsoever. It's also got decent off-road suspension, which means you don't really need to worry about flipping, you don't need to worry about bouncing too hard. It's kind of in between at a very nice sweet spot. But that right there is the only problem I have with the car. It does lose a bit of traction when going off-road, which definitely takes a little bit away from it. So that's the only thing I don't like about this car, is the traction. It's really good at everything, but it definitely definitely spins out a little bit extra, because I don't think this one's meant to be a rally car, but it just drives off-road really, really well, as you can see. So that's why it's an honorable mention. I like the Silvestre, but it's not really a rally car. Either way, let me know what you guys think about all of these cars in the comments down below. Which one's your favorite? There's honestly not that many rally cars in Grand Theft Auto Online. We do have like the Weenie Issy Rally. There's a couple off-road cars that are really good at rallying as well, but these are the major ones that I think look amazing, do the job, and just have the part ready for them. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. But as you can see, they're all great at doing this one little off-road bit right here. And if you'd like to see more like this in the future, please consider smashing that subscribe button down below. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye!